Sit down, take a two and two, money till we get it. Wall, let it cool, what ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit, keep it. Run the side.
Playboy.
Hey. Dude, you guys have cool microphones. Do I sound like shit?
No, you're sounding pretty good on our end.
You sound all right.
Awesome. Are you in Austin or are you also in Tulsa?
No, I am in Nashville.
Oh shit, dude. We're getting like
Where
the
are
whole
you at,
South on
Dixon?
this thing. I'm in Austin, Texas. I moved back
Oh, okay. When did you move back to Austin?
2 months ago now, I think. It's pretty fun.
What a
I
time to
just
be
move
alive.
around all the time. I know, it's crazy.
Nice.
So where were you before you moved back?
Okay, so like originally I lived in Sacramento, California, which is where I know JT from. And then I moved to Missoula, Montana because the COVID shit was crazy and I thought it was gonna be like the fucking Last of Us. So I was like, holy shit, dude, I'm gonna like hide out up here inside the fucking mountains. And then I got called to come down to Texas. So I drove through the West Coast down into Texas, grabbed a bunch of weed and hucked it into Austin, moved over here, and then did like a year, and it started to get like real crazy full of people and nutty. And I thought in my head, like, man, Utah sounds super cool. So I opened up this tattoo shop for this dude, Oliver Peck from Ink Master in Utah. And then I was like, dude, Utah sucks. But we'll talk more about Utah in a second. I'm just telling you what's going on in Utah. Utah actually is cool as fuck, but it's like shitty economically if you want to do a job that's like against the religion of 98% of the population, which makes no fucking sense. I don't even know why Homie is opening something up there. But I like went and did that and it was cool. And then I was like, I think I'm just going to go back to Texas. So now I'm back here. I just pretty much do whatever the fuck all the time. It's pretty fun.
Sweet call it Texas.
Yeah, I'm in a weird Airbnb
Mormons can't get tattoos?
No, they can, but they can't. I like rented this whole Airbnb house thing, but I always feel like makes you feel like you're not at home even more.
I feel like
everyone else is home.
Soon too.
I feel like the only tattoos they can get is a scripture from.
They get like, so there's ex-Mormons and they get like all fucking crazy with like the shit and they'll get like super fucking tattooed and they're like
just
weird
a fucking
sex
devil on their
people.
face.
Yeah, like they'll get all fucking nutty, dude, like getting like face tattoos and stuff, but they'll get like arm tattoos and start like sleeving themselves out all crazy. But to be tattooed out there like how we're tattooed, JT, is like being like a fucking like a wrestler. It's weird.
Nice.
You straight up look like
It's wild. When I came to, actually, it wasn't in Tulsa when they experienced this. It was some small town outside of Oklahoma, or in Oklahoma outside of Tulsa. And I'm not like yadded out, right? I have like the furthest one is like bottom neck, and I have like arms. Like I'm not like a gnarly looking tattoos. I'm like a tattooed guy. It was like I walked into a gas station and they looked at me like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, oh shit, tattoos like matter. I'm so used to like a city where like tattoos, everyone has tattoos. Like the fucking cops in Austin have tattoos. Like everyone's tattooed.
Dude,
And
we're from
it's like,
Sacramento. Everyone's fucking tattooed.
exactly. It's not even like a wild boy thing. It's just that everyone's tattooed. Your Sunday school teacher's tattooed. Your elementary school teacher's tattooed. It's just a normal ass thing.
Dude, even
that?
like the super Orthodox Russian people, like Elvira, fucking tattooed.
Oh
She
yeah.
sent me a picture of a tattoo one time and was like, "Can you help me with this?" And I was like, "No way, dude. What the fuck is that garbage?"
Not even God can help you with that.
No.
I was trying to explain to someone the other day how like there is like a type of Christian Russian in Sacramento. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
it's different.
they're different. It's like a whole different culture out there where it's like it's their own very insular community. And how many people I've met that are like third generation in America and they still have an accent? And I'm like, whoa, that is the fact that you have Ukrainian newspapers being delivered to your doorstep in your neighborhood, like it's Ukrainian and Russian city in Sacramento.
Well, they're like compounded out too. It's like really
Yeah.
weird. Kids are all fucked up. Like I'd have friends with them because I'm some weird gutter punky kind of fucking kid from Roseville. So then I'd be like, I'm gonna hang out with everybody at the coffee shop, and these motherfuckers would like have an STD and not want to tell anybody. And you're like, bitch, you smell crazy from a distance. Like, what the fuck is going on with you? And like all sorts of insane shit. But religion makes insane people, dude. There was like a rock people would huck themselves off of in Utah if they were gay. And it's like
Really?
2023. Yeah, dude.
Wait, to kill themselves or to celebrate?
To die.
Oh, I thought you meant like into a body of water. Like, what's up? Let's bounce off the
No,
gay
it's
rocks. Like
fucked
going to the
up
green
up
belt.
there.
Like, let's go to Big Gay Rock, jump off.
Well, being
Going
from
up to
where
the
we're
Big
from, it's
Gay
like
Rock.
the
There's a kill
polarizing
yourself
culture.
Gay Rock.
Dude, Gay Rock? Yeah, that's a good name.
Well, they kill themselves there. That's crazy to me. That's
Yeah, no,
gay
it's-
people. Having it
It's
hard in Utah.
Dude, Utah's such a crazy place, man. It was like being in the 80s, but the mullet's really fashionable, which I thought was weird. I was like, isn't that kind of like an LGBTQ haircut? I don't know. I'm from the Bay Area. I feel like that could be that.
Ted Cruz started rocking a mullet and ruined it for me.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz started rocking a mullet like he's like a dude at the bar, and it's like, no, you are not a dude at the bar. You are not a dude. You are not safe most cool bars, my man. You are not safe there. You look scared walking around, dude. You suck. Can't rock a mullet. That's when I was like, man, maybe mullets aren't the way. Ted Cruz rocking them, I'm out. That's like the Queen of England.
It is like the Queen of England. Dude, Ted Cruz
Queen
is
of England
hilarious.
does something that's lame to me.
Politicians are like ugly celebrities, and they're extremely fucking boring. It's like ridiculous. Like the lives they live are crazy, and then we have to like sit here like surf class, paying all these like ridiculous taxes to be like fighting each other over a bunch of made up people shit.
Meanwhile, they're wearing masks and having sex on islands.
Dude, you know that motherfucker, like Kamala Harris's husband, kissed that Jill Biden fucking wife bitch? That was like crazy as fuck. You see that shit on the news?
I heard about it, but I didn't watch it. I saw people making jokes about it, and I was like, that's just so hot. I'll be straight with you, dude. If the president's wife kissed me on the mouth, I would fucking lose it. I'd kiss her back so hard. I'd pull away for just like a moment and then look her in the eyes, and then one quick one right out there just to kind of like seal the deal. And then I'd make eyebrows like, we doing this? I don't know. I'd probably put my hand on like her hip or her lower back and then kind of like lean in and put my forehead against her forehead and say, we're going to do it, Jill. You know
Joe's just in the corner beating off with his fucking geriatric penis to those motherfuckers too. It's
that's
like,
the coolest thing he's done as president. All right.
Yeah.
I want to see the kiss. Oh, that's a hot kiss. Robert, did you pull up the kiss too?
Which kiss?
The Jill Biden, Kamala Harris. What's Kamala Harris's husband's name?
I don't know.
Doug Emhoff is his name. God, what a bunch of losers.
I was looking up
They're like super
mullet shots.
Yeah, Ted Cruz. Here's the thing. Jill Biden can get cool by just fucking cucking her husband on TV. I'm like, all right, that's pretty tight. Ted Cruz can't just rock a mullet and be cool. It's just two different types of people. I don't even know anything about. I know she's a doctor. Is she like a real doctor, Dr. Jill Biden? What does she have a doctorate in? You guys know?
I don't know, but I do like the cucking aspect. I think that it just brings this whole thing where I want this like dystopic, over-the-top sexual government that's just like rolling from some TikTok style thing where the dude's just like naked in a chair shitting with like TikTok porn all the time, and you're like, whoa, we've really hit idiocracy. Like some Tokyo Ghoul shit.
What's your feed on TikTok? You're saying that you're watching guys strapped to chairs shitting in?
Oh,
I used to get like cockfights
like
back in the day, but now it's just little dances.
Kind of. It's like dark web TikTok. Like that's the only stuff that I ever get. It's like brutal, like where it's like, oh, that guy's got a leech in his dick, and you're like, holy shit.
I used to have this roommate from Venezuela. He's a pretty tight dude. He's like a chef. He seems like a liar. I loved him though. But one time he was like, "Oh, you guys want to see how to make your TV cool?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he downloaded an app onto our smart TV that was like a Spanish app, and he had the craziest fucking channels I'd seen in my life. Where like it would just be scrolling through the channels, and then it would just go to like live feed of a fish tank, and I'd be like, "That's a dude's house. Like this is not a normal channel. It ruled." He also had like every channel where you could watch everything. He pretty much like I always said he used to dark web our TV. Or I'm like, how'd you dark web our TV? Like he would just it was the nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my life as far as like what you can put on your TVs go. Like I swear to God, there could have been a channel that was just showing like ISIS beheadings. Like I've never seen anything like it. It was just the most random channels. There's so many channels of people that were like game streamers, like people playing video games, but non-English speaking game speakers. And he would watch it. He liked it. He spoke like 5 languages. At least he said he did. I had no way to test it. You know what I mean? I couldn't just like yip at some German at him and see if it was for real.
Yeah, English, Klingon. He spoke Elven, from the Tolkien books, Lord of the Rings. He just lists off fake languages.
Hey, if you learned it, you learned it. That impresses me. If you could spit Elvish at me or Klingon, I'd be like, all right, I'll bow down. You're smarter than me for sure.
Oh, okay, I
looked up what Jill Biden's doctorate was in. You want to take a guess, JT?
Well, so I'm going to assume she's not a medical doctor. I'm going to assume she's like an academic doctor, but
not medical.
It's not medical.
Not medical.
I know it can't be anything helpful or smart. Like it's not going to be history. It's not going to be economics. It's not going to be like creative writing. You think it's like social work or something? What do you think it is? What is it?
I'm gonna say art doctor.
Dixon, do you have a guess?
Social work is warm.
Social work is warm.
Yeah.
Can you get a?
What was a doctor in social? I mean, I guess you just go to school, so I guess you might be like I was gonna say like an art doctorate, because that'd be like a hilarious thing for you to be a doctor for. Like my grandpa was one of those, and you're like, call me a doctor, and you're like, you're a fucking oil painter.
You got a doctorate in art history, my guy.
Yeah,
I feel like it's something.
My grandpa has that. Do you have the same thing?
Wait, your grandpa really did have a doctorate in art history?
Yeah, that's what he did.
What did he do with it? Did he teach with it?
Fuck no, he just hung out and did railroad shit and smoked a bunch of pot in Roseville. I mean, we
tight.
like hung out at all their giant mansion houses when we were kids. That's like all they did.
Fucking slayed it in art trivia.
Robert, what's her PhD in? I'm dying. I guessed it was social work. That's my. It's not. If it's not that, I'm gonna say
It's education.
Education.
Yeah, that is like a social work, like educate people.
Wow. Would you kiss her?
Would you kiss her?
If she came up to you right in front of her husband and wanted to lay one on your lips, would you lay one back? Would you settle in and pluck her up?
I mean,
I feel like the refusal would be better. Like, it would be hilarious if you just smacked her all crazy across the face, like Will Ferrell style. It was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna have like an insane, like Boondocks style cartoon moment. Like, just really in, like pimp shit.
Make a huge deal about it.
A huge deal. Like, just bitch slaps her into the ground and then grabs the mic and is like, this motherfucker right here is trying to cheat on her husband, and then flashes the wedding ring and is like, you know me, I'm with her, and points at Kamala. And Kamala's like, I would have done it too.
Much ballsier, much more impressive. I'll be honest, I would be, and right in front of my wife too. And my wife, she wouldn't be into it. She would be so mad. I don't think she would leave me if the president's wife came up and kissed me and I kissed her back. Especially if because I'll be straight with you. You ain't gonna kiss me without getting a little bit of cuting on me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna snuggle up. Yeah, I'm gonna hold you a little bit. I might do like a smile and do a second kiss on the. I'm gonna do something to make it escalate it. See where we can take this. Right? If you give me an inch, are we gonna take this to the mile? You know what I mean? If you're gonna kiss me, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go all, and I'm guessing Dr. Jill probably wouldn't let me like blow her back out in front of her husband on TV. Would my wife leave me for that is something I would have to figure out after the fact. Like I would, if Dr. Jill Biden or Kamala Harris, if Kamala Harris said, hey, I want to kiss you in front of my husband, I wouldn't be like, hey, here's the wedding ring. I bet this is a fight I'm having when I get home. Let's go, person in power. We're going to do a little kissing.
I kind of really enjoy the amount of effort people put into making these like videos where it makes them look like they're wearing masks and shit, and they like zoom in on it and no one's saying anything in the comments.
The reptilian eyes.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Social media is like, I mean, dude, we got a little bit of time before it when we were in high school, but as soon as we got out, that shit was like hot, dude. Like Starbucks jobs and it's on social media. I think social media is cool and weird as fuck.
No. I mean, like, I barely missed like social media in high school, right? Like, so there was no Instagram. There was Facebook at the end of high school for me, and then like by the time as I was dropping out of college, that's when like people were getting Facebooks, and I was like, oh, okay, so like Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that. But like, if I would have had it when I was like 15, 16, I would be posting infographs. You know what I mean? I would have been about it if that would have come out a little bit younger for me. But I missed out. I'm dumb.
An anti-technology person. We didn't even have Wi-Fi at my house, dude, when I grew up. Like, no internet. I was like, holy shit. Like, I remember having to go to school and they'd be like, hey, you got to do this on a computer. And I'd be like, I don't have one of those. Like, super weird. Like, 1950s. It was pretty cool. It was weird.
You don't have the 5G making your brains crazy, all right?
No,
that's the bonus.
I got like 3 Bluetooth headphones in. I'm like fucking Brave New Worlding myself while I sleep.
It's crazy. I met your mom before I met you because I walked into the tattoo shop to get a unicorn tattoo with a fake ID when I was like 16.
Yes, dude, I believe I'm kind of younger than you are, but I don't know by how much. I turn 30 next year, but I'm 28 currently, which really weirds me out all the time.
I turned 30 in a couple months.
Dude, so we're the same fucking age.
Yeah, I'm 29, you're 28, right?
Yeah, my birthday's in July. When's your birthday?
You feel younger than me because when we met, there's a huge difference between like 19 and 18. You know what I mean? And it's like that when you're 18, 19 feels like, oh, you're 19. I remember being at 17, being friends with this 19-year-old guy, and I remember this conversation with him saying, "Yeah, most of my friends are like 22. Like I hang out with a lot of older people, like a lot of," and he kept telling me how his friends are like 22 and how his girlfriend was like 22, and I was like, at the time, I was like, "That's tight." I was like, "Okay, so you're like super mature. Okay, so you're like super mature. You're hanging out with 22-year-olds, you know."
22-year-olds are very mature. I had this 19-year-old guy I was like tattooing a bunch of shit on over the native hostel. There was like a lull where I didn't live here, and like this crazy fucking guy that used to bang my mom that I work with, so I was avoiding him over here at All Saints. He's hilarious. He just like, he's fighting my mom, so he thinks he's fighting me, and then he fights everybody. He told everyone I'm a fucking hitman. So there's these Colombians last year that I fired, but they got all rowdy and like were kind of being like, "Oh, fuck you up." So I was all and pulled out a 9mm and sat it on the table, and I was like, "You guys just get your shit and get the fuck out of here, man. It's like 11 a.m." And after that, the Colombians were like, "He's a fucking hitman. He's a hitman. Blah 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 blah." So this dude like runs it out to where I go to work the other night, and this guy, I come into work, I do have a Mac 10 on me, and I walk into work with my Mac 10, and I set it down into the back room, and I unload my handgun out of my bag, and I get my iPad out, and I put a clip in the Mac 10, I load it, I stick it inside my bag, which is just like a big bag I carry guns around inside of, because I live in fucking Austin. Why not, right? This dude's telling everyone I'm a hitman, so just live it up. So I have the bag in there and zip it up, and they, I guess they go through my bag while I'm at the Royal Blue grabbing an espresso shot before work, and he comes in, he's like, "Yo, dude, what the fuck? You got like a Mac 10 and like 3 clips with like 90 rounds. What the fuck is going on in here, man? You gotta take this shit out of here." And I was like, "Are all of you guys not carrying guns?" And they're like, "We don't bring guns down here." And I was like, "This is Dirty Sixth. What the fuck are you talking about?"
That is abnormal to be in a tattoo shop without guns. Be anywhere without guns, to be honest.
I think he just wanted to disarm me because everyone said I was a hitman, but I'm not a hitman.
Hey,
Just like a weird dude from Sacramento.
I'll be straight with you. If someone told me, "Hey, this guy you're working with is a hitman," and I looked in his bag and there's a Mac 10, I'd be like, "Hey, that's enough for me." I'd be like, "You know what? I don't want to risk working with the hitman next to me." So I give him a little grace there.
Yeah.
But if you told me you're not a hitman, I'd probably take you at face value, to be honest.
I mean, he was like yelling at me when I came into work. I don't know why. He just like yell talks. And then I was like, "Let me get my bags out of the car." And then I just happened to have Mac 10 on me. It wasn't like I was trying to threaten the guy or anything, but he acted like I brought like an atom bomb into the tattoo shop. Mac 10's only, you have to pick it up.
At the tattoo shop that didn't want you to bring a gun in, or at a different place?
No gun. Same tattoo shop. No gun. But this is off of the subject of the 19-year-old, but yeah, the fucking no gun thing, super crazy. And then I was just like, dude, what the fuck is going on in Austin? Like, you remember Errol, right? The crazy guy from fucking Washington on that island that did comedy, dressed up like Jesus.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So me and Errol are smoking some weed in my Kia Stinger in the back of the creek in the cave, and this dude pins a motherfucker against my car and just starts stabbing the son of a bitch over and over and over and over again. This is like a year ago, 2021.
The Colombian guy that you're referencing?
No. This is just me and Errol. So this is why I fucking was like, dude, I'm just going to bring guns with me everywhere, because I watched a man get stabbed to death on fucking, like, basically 6th Street. It was so crazy, because the dude made eye contact with us through the fucking car window and was just like, and we're like, "Oh, God, what the fuck?" And the dude was like in paper clothes, then he died, and we were like, didn't do anything. We just kept smoking weed because we're all desensitized. And Errol's like, "What the fuck, man? Just get me back to Pflugerville."
The first time anyone said, "I want to go to Pflugerville."
He told me, he's like, "Drive me home," and then I'm driving on the freeway, and he's giving me like vocal directions, and I'm all, "Bitch, it's been like 25 minutes. Where the fuck are we going?" And he's like, "Pflugerville." And I was like, "I live on Rainy. Fuck you." Like, what the hell?
You gotta stop by Tywin's Comedy Club. And that's a comedy club where you won't see a man stabbed to death outside. That's a matter of fact.
That's probably true.
That's a Tywin guarantee.
But I
All
kind of like
Saints is the place right next to Creek, right? The one that's like in the same alley, but it's by Barbarella's. Is that All Saints?
No, that's fuck. I think that's East End. We're right across from Casino El Camino.
So next to the menswear store, next to like the Supreme store place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a blue building. The boss is super cool. I love John. He used to work with my family in the 90s. Really nice dude. We're both fucking Jews, so we get along pretty well. And it's just fun, just doing the Austin thing.
I didn't know you were Jewish. I didn't know you were in the tribe.
Yeah.
You
Are
know,
you as well?
I've pretended to be when it benefited me. Absolutely.
That's hilarious.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad. Yeah.
He's
I'm
hung
like,
out
so
with
my
like,
mom's a
Israelites.
stripper and my dad's Jewish. So then, like, I guess I'm Jewish because my grandparents are, and I'm like, did all that shit, I guess. But like, technically, like a day walker Jew because my mom's a blonde stripper with huge tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really consider me to be like, my other Jewish friends like me. But I think the dudes that are like the Israelite guys that are yelling on the street corner, they probably don't like me.
The black
No.
Israelites don't like. Actually,
No.
so hang on.
Like-
Let me back myself up here a little bit. So there's not just one line of thought in the black Israelite community. Some black Israelites, they think that Irish people are also Israelites, and that's why we've been oppressed in so many different times. I told the black Israelites on 6th Street in Oasis in Austin, not the ones that scream on 6th Street, but on 1st Street in Oasis over by Congress. I told them I was Irish, and they
The
said,
same
"Oh,
ones
you're
I'm
in. You're
talking
down."
about.
I swear to God. Yeah, so there's the ones that are in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. They do not fuck with Irish people, but the ones that are not in the ISUPK, they do fuck with Irish people, and they go, "Yeah, Irish people are Israelites," and I throw it up. I go, "Yeah, we are." And I couldn't agree more.
I'm into it. I'm Irish too. I love that shit. My last name's Hogan. It's like, is your last name Kelly?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome. Super Irish. You're like Always Sunny Philadelphia last name.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm exactly like that guy. I can read though. It's really I like,
can't.
especially in my early 20s, really related with that guy in that show where he's like dirty and doesn't want to shower. I'm like, fuck, I hate how much I'm like, yeah, people just care about the way you smell way too much.
Dude, they really did. And I think also we were going through an economic repressive time and we were young and our parents were struggling. And it came out at like a perfect point to be like, I can also just wear an army jacket and the same pair of jeans for a year and a ripped Led Zeppelin t-shirt and hang out in Roseville. And people might like me. They might not really like me, but they'll buy coffee.
That's what matters. That's
Yeah.
how we got him.
Dude, I kind of miss those days, man. Do you go on slides out where you live?
Do we own slides?
Yeah, do you go on slides out there in Tulsa? Is that why you moved up there? Because they got like better parks?
Man, I'll be back in Texas at the end of this program, but I moved.
What are you doing up there?
Did I tell you why I moved to Tulsa, Dixon?
I thought you were like a crazy Colombian hitman that was up there doing like some
I'm out
drug
here running
cartel guys?
tattoo shops. Yeah, I'm out here saying, hey, I'm the hitman for this tattoo shop. No Colombians
Yeah.
allowed. Hey, just to be clear, Colombians, you're welcome anywhere I am. Not the ones Dixon talking about, but any Colombians in general, you got 2 thumbs up for me. Tulsa will pay you $10,000 to move there if you stay for a year.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's awesome.
If you work from home, if you have a work from home job, they will pay you $10,000 to move to Tulsa. It's like, would you stay in a haunted house for $1 million for a night? Would you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma for $10,000 for a year? And it's like, well, I don't know about it. I said, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I said, sure. My
It's
wife is
only
down.
Tulsa. It's not bad.
It's not bad. I'll be driving to Austin next weekend, you know?
Dude, let's hang out next weekend. That'll be awesome.
I'm actually going out there to get tattooed.
Oh, who you getting tattooed by?
This guy named Mark or Mike with a V. He does massive traditional stuff. I'm getting most of my front part covered up.
Dude, I started doing hella Japanese out in Salt Lake. All those people just do Japanese out there. I don't know why. It's really fun. I like Japanese.
I don't really like the way Japanese would look on me, but because I want to get like my chest covered up so bad and my thighs covered up so bad, I thought about doing like a full Japanese suit, but I just couldn't do it. I was like, it just doesn't look like me at all. It's so goofy on me.
I feel like you have so many traditional tattoos and so many like kind of wacky fun tattoos. Like, I mean, I almost tattooed you in a kitchen of some weird studio on my grandma's property. Did I tattoo you there?
I don't think you did. I know where you're talking about though.
Yeah, I almost did. That was crazy. I think that's like that's like developmental fun times, I guess, in some regard.
I remember, so one of my first memories of Dixon, I was probably like 17, 18, and I had just started getting tattooed, and it was on my leg, and I showed, it was a group of people outside, either Shady or Bloom, my new little tattoos, and Dixon pulls down his pants all the way and goes, mine looks like I'm wearing pants. And he was yadded all the way from like, but you could almost see his balls, like that area, all the way to his ankles. And I was like, that is tight. I think that was the day I met you, too, as I was showing off my tiny little unicorn tattoo that I had just gotten at your mom's shop. And then
it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I got a couple little unicorn tattoos.
Dude, unicorns rule. I'm doing a pegacorn back piece on my lady for pretty soon. I'll send you a picture of it. I keep redrawing it, but it looks pretty sick. This dude Juan Diego, you should get tattooed by him too when you come down here. But not this time, but like in the future. He's like gnarly, dude. Are you familiar with Chris Trevino?
I don't think so. That same name sounds familiar, but I might just say that because it sounds familiar.
He's like the tattooer of Austin. Like if you're thinking Austin, Texas, and you're like, holy shit, I'm like thinking tattooing. I think Chris Trevino is like the first dude if you're like a tattooer that comes.
I think Austin of Rock of Ages. That's who I think of.
Yeah, with like Theo and stuff like that. Or not Theo. Is it Theo? Is it the big tall guy? What the fuck is the big tall guy's name?
Oh, I
not Theo Lindell. I don't even know. Those fucking dudes rule though. I love those guys.
That's
Tony
what I think
Hundle.
of.
That's what it is. Tony fucking Hundle.
That's a big name. I don't know. I'm gonna check out this guy. Honestly, I saw that my friend Maddie follows him, and Maddie has like tons of traditional stuff, and so I went to look at his Instagram, and he has tons of cover-ups, and I just have so many dumb, big, colorful tattoos, and I'd like to get something just big and cohesive, you know. And so I was straight up like, hey, what about like a bird holding a snake? And he goes, classic, got it. And I was like, okay, sick. Something fucking simple. Awesome.
I think a bird holding a snake is good. I had a drunk guy come in the other night, and he's like, I will get anything you want. I have $1,000. And I was
What'd you do?
I did a giant koi fish with a dragon head. It's like a dragon koi. Like flying on his arm. It's pretty cool. He was pretty ridiculous. He man, dude, we deal with some crazy people. This dude, Juan Diego, tattooed the other night, told us about how he got his fucking crack whore random girl, or no, meth head random girl he's fucking. Well, he's on a 4-day breakup with his girlfriend pregnant because he came in her mouth. Verbatim tells me, I'm getting a blowjob. I come in her mouth. It's a lot. So then I pull out my hard cock and I shove it inside of her pussy. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. In regard of this, then goes over after telling a story. He goes, hey, actually, can you guys not talk about this? My fiance is going to be here in like 15 to 20 minutes. And I was like, holy shit, dude.
I'll save it for the wedding day. Okay.
He walks over to Juan Diego, who's like the dude who's tattooing him. And he's like, hey, man, fucking, I was watching this porn the other day and this chick had an octopus tattooed come out of her asshole. And it was like, anything, like, what can you stuff in there? Like, let's see how big the octopus's mouth can get. You know what I mean, bro? And then he looks at the shop girl and goes, would you ever get an octopus tattoo? And we're like, holy shit. And she's just hanging out super oblivious. So she's like, oh, dude, yeah, fuck yeah, octopuses are sick. And we're like stoned. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I cover for us. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd get an octopus tattoo too, bro. Octopuses rule. I got a spot right here for one. And he's like, oh, cool. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da. Dude, it was the craziest. And he's been messaging her so much that the dude who tattooed him had to be like, hey, man, you gotta like back off our shop girl. She's like a human being.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta remind a couple men that women are human. And you go, that's right. Okay, yeah, it's a human. I can't just sexually harass until I get what I want.
So I tattooed this woman's pussy the other day at the tattoo shop. So the shop helper gives my wife the dude who I wish that I fucking tattooed, because like this meathead, gnarly, fucked up, sweaty, hell of red, steroided country fucking dude that lives in Austin, like business country dude. And he's got this little, maybe 18, 19-year-old, barely speaks any English girl with him that weighs about 100 pounds in high heels, fake leather pants, shitty little thin t-shirt, brings her in, and he's like, yeah, I want to, both of us are getting my initial tattooed on this. And I'm like, whoa, that's super weird, but okay.
Both
like,
his initials?
Both his initials. So he draws it up. JC does it on him, and he's all, make it so it doesn't stay. I don't want it to stay. And she's like, what? And he's like, just do it in purple. I want it purple. And she's like, okay, it's not going to last. And like, the dude has me continually, so I put the stencil on like, like upper pubic mount. And I'm like, oh, this will be cool. Like a little upper pubic mount tattoo, right? You said like this area. And he's like, no, lower. And he goes, on top of her clit, on the side of her vagina right here, because I wouldn't put it on top of the clit. And then I'm like, okay. And he goes, no, in more. And I'm like dripping sweat from the top of my head. And it's like fucking almost midnight on 6th Street. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to like do this. And what the fuck? And I like do the tattoo. And I'm like making all cool and fine line initial thing. And I'm like, what in sexual harassment, the fuck? The dude's reached over, pulling on his dick inside of his pocket or some shit, like fiddling the fuck around, kissing her on the mouth. And I'm like, dude, this This is like the craziest. And then to end it, me and the shop guy are standing there, and he held her from behind, and he whispers in her ear, just loud enough for us to hear, "I'm going to come inside of you so hard tonight." And I'm like, holy fuck.
Now that's romance.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
And a lot of people just don't know how to have a healthy relationship like they do. All right. Sometimes I gotta pressure a woman into getting my initials tattooed on her junk as close to her clitoris as possible. That's the interesting part to me. He's like, no, the clitoris. That's my favorite part. I want my initials on my favorite part. The
Dude,
fun button.
I like fucking made her cover up her pussy with a sticker from the tattoo shop because I'm like, dude, I don't want to look at your vagina. So I'm like, as soon as it starts getting lower, I'm like, go put a sticker on your vagina. And he's like, why would he make her do that? And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, why you're in public? We're on 6th Street. What the fuck, man? Also, I'm like a dentist. I try to be hella respectful to people, you know, as respectful as I can be.
Do you have a junk minimum?
At least he wasn't like tattoo it on the ovaries. You're like, that's not possible. He's like, what do you mean it's not possible? It's like, that's going inside her. You're not even going to see it. He's like, what? He's just like, I have seen many vaginas before.
Like inside of the labia, like I've seen that as like the gnarliest thing I've ever seen, where someone like had someone's name tattooed on like the pink inner labia tissue. And I was like, why would you do that?
I couldn't imagine. We had a dominatrix on who sends me, shout out Ava, I hope you're listening. She sends me videos of like sounding bars that she buys, which are bars that she puts up men's penises. Yeah. And these guys love it. They eat it up. They think it's the best thing in the world. Robert, did you think he was about to stand up and show us a sounding bar in his penis? Because of the way he stood up when I said sounding bar in his penis. He stood up like he had something to show us. Dude,
like,
me too. I'm glad you got that too, Robert. He stood up like, you're talking about a sounding bar in a penis? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. As if he was going to have the most amazing
I got
reveal
my kit right here
of a fully sounded out penis. But I
take a shower. I'm like, 1 second, I'm gonna take a shower in the middle of this podcast with you guys.
I couldn't imagine doing sounding. I could imagine getting my penis tattooed, but not like the head of my penis. I could get shaft tattooed. I would hate it. I hate getting tattooed. I'm a baby. I make sex noises the whole time. I hate it. So I mean, if I could do shaft, but I would. Oh, don't you have to be hard if you tattoo the shaft?
No, you just wrap it around a baseball bat. You know what's really gnarly that happens to people though when they get their dicks tattooed and stuff? Is they like fucking come and shit sometimes, man. It's
no way.
Yeah, they'll totally.
Have you been around while that's happened?
I've only heard of it. I've never actually physically had somebody do it on me, but I've heard it. It's mostly like, I mean, it happens to dudes and chicks, but like it'll happen with the chicks that I know that tattoo more. So someone will come in, like my wife's a fucking 115-pound, cute little 30-year-old chick that does cool little QP fucking awesome tattoos. And people will come in and be like, oh, I want to get like this crazy tattoo. Like we had a dude where he wanted to get a pinup girl that she did facing him so he could jerk off to it. And then he told us in the middle of the tattoo. Like, we were like, what the fuck? I told him, I was like, hey, man, you want to have that thing in prison? Dude, you'll get pinned down and jerked off all over. And he's all, well, that's kind of the point of it. And then he's like, oh. Later asks her to teach him how to tattoo through a DM. Never knew this guy ever before this either. But, like, such a weird dude. Shows up to the appointment, zipper down, fucking walking in all weird and shit with, like, some crazy cut-off jean shorts. The jean shorts
that his instinct was like, quick. I should tell them I'm going to masturbate to this at some point. He goes, I'll wait till it's appropriate to bring it up. I'll wait till someone breaches the subject, but they should know that I'll be jacking off to the thing on my arm. They should know that. That's important to me.
Upper inner thigh.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, way gnarly, dude. He was cool. He was like young, his hip, you know, kind of looked like he had Edgar, I think. He was good. He had his things going for him.
Oh, have you seen my John Benet Ramsey tattoo, Dixon?
No, dude. What do you have? Oh, that's sick. Dude, that rules. It's kind of like Gigi Allen-y, too, at the same time. I really like
I don't know what's more offensive. Don't read it out loud, but look at this one.
I can't even read. That one's good.
Got that one a while ago.
Yeah. I never see somebody get an I Love Cops tattoo before.
Yeah, I know. I'm few and far between, baby. I'm few and far between. It's funny.
When you get pulled over, you're like, right? Thank God. Yeah, you get pulled over and you're like, that's amazing. I just hope that I hope this guy's a handsome young man.
Jiu-jitsu is like filled with cops. Like it's like jiu-jitsu is like the thing for cops. And like one of the gyms I went to in Austin is like owned by a cop. His Instagram is BJJ Cop. We're buddies, I'll be honest. He's a pretty cool guy. But when I started going there, my wife was like, "So you're wrestling with cops every day?" I was like, "Yeah." And honest, the worst thing is like I get along with them pretty fine. Like when you're in a gym, you don't even think that they're cops. Like we're just people. We're hanging out. And she was like, "Wow, this is like your American History X." And that was like my favorite joke. I think that's so unreal funny because I'm like, damn, it like accidentally is. Where it's like I straight up like hung out with a cop from karate this morning. Like we didn't hang out. We went to the gym. We did jujitsu together. But it was like, yeah, it is. Like I was like, "Oh, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to see you. Let's wrestle for a bit." And when we leave, we don't know what we do outside of this. It doesn't matter. We don't talk about that type of thing. What you do outside these walls, none of my business.
I have weird experience with cops because they want to be extra cool with me because I'm doing this like ginormous tattoo on them for a bunch of money over a period of time. So then like they're generally like really fucking cool. Have you ever gotten a challenge coin from one of your friends?
You gotten a challenge coin?
I have a whole baggie full.
Fuck you. That's pretty tight.
Yeah, I have so many of them. The cops in Utah were like, "Dude, you should start making your own and trading us your own challenge coin." And I was like, "Dude, that would be fucking cool."
You're the second guest I've had on. We had another guest that had a challenge coin. Ed Opperman was given a challenge coin by some 3-letter agency agent that was like, "This is for some bullshit we did and whatever," and gave him a challenge coin. When I worked at the Chive TV, they had a bunch of challenge coins on the wall because if you go into their bar and you're like a whatever, you can be LEO or Fed or whatever, any type of boot on the ground. It's got a challenge coin. You give it to them. They put it on the wall there. What kind of challenge coin did you get? Oh, you said you had tons.
I have tons. They're all just like Utah ones. Though. I have one that's like a 9/11 one, and it's like from New York. I have a Vegas 9/11 one. I have a Vegas one, and then I have like Spanish Fork, Utah, and Orem, Utah ones and stuff like that. Just like
That's
being
funny,
in Utah, you only tattoo cops, so then they're just like really fucking chill. And then I got on a no pullover list, so then my car's plates were like chill. Like I was going 75 and like a 45, and this cop literally pulled behind me, checked my plate, backed off, and then went the other way. I was like, "Holy fuck, dude!"
He's like, "I think I'll be getting my giant lion tattoo from this guy soon, so I think I should back off." I think I will be getting a Punisher skull from this guy soon. I think I should back off, so we're good to go.
I'm good at custom Punisher skulls, man. I do the American flag one, and I'll even throw like a thin blue line in there, a green line.
Fires behind the eyes, everything.
Yeah, dude, fire behind the eyes forever.
There needs to be a line for podcasters. We need to do like, what's the color that we can? I guess it's a rainbow. We can put the thin rainbow line for podcasters.
Yeah, just right through the middle. That's cool.
Yeah.
You could make a little rainbow line. It'd be hard to like tattoo it though. Like digitally, it probably look pretty sick. I don't know. It'd be so small.
I've seen the blue line. The first extension I saw was the red line. I was like, okay, fire. And then I saw the green line on it, and I was like, I imagine that's Army. It's either not Army or forestry services. But then there's another line on there for EMTs. Do you guys remember what it is? Is it yellow?
I have no idea. I don't ever do those.
I think, frankly, let's just make the American flag a rainbow. Let's just do it. Yeah. Everyone gets a color on there. Cops, criminals. There should be one for criminals. That's what we need. We need police.
What's the criminal color?
Criminal. Yeah. What's the criminal color? Hey, we're not here to say what the criminal color is, brother. What? Hey, that is not that. This is not that type of podcast, Dixon.
I feel like they can do a taxing offense, right? So, like, I feel like in aspect, if I pay taxes for, like, if you've been through your taxes and seen that you can do, like, for other things, like, I can't remember the fuck that word's called. Fuck, what is that called? Like, it's for crimes. Like, if you sold weed and you made money, they want you to fucking pay your taxes on that shit. So you could be like, and legally tell them, like, oh yeah, for nefarious reasons, I came up with $200K this year and I want to pay. And they won't even fucking ask. They'll just take the money. It's really fucking crazy.
I thought they will investigate it, though. I knew that you could do that because you can buy even like tax stamps for it, which is crazy in Texas. You can buy like cannabis tax stamps. And it's like, oh, wow.
Why is that a thing? That's so nuts.
I don't really know. Here's the thing. When I went to law school, that we didn't even cover that.
Really?
I'm Yeah, I didn't go to
That's
law school,
tax
Dixon.
law. All right.
For a
Dude, I
second,
didn't
Dixon
know.
was like, "Shit, JT went to law school."
I was looking at you in the eyes, and I thought to myself, "Holy shit, this guy really did it."
This guy went to law school. Wow.
He's making
Talking
smart
about
decisions.
getting out of Sacramento. That's it, man. He
Okay.
went to law school. Wow.
JT, I pulled up the flag with the thin yellow line.
Uh-huh.
You want to take another guess?
It's either EMTs or furries.
You're closer with furries.
Is it
It's-
for the Grateful Dead?
No, it's for security.
Yes,
Wow.
door guys! Door guys have a line on the flag. I better get a discount places. I served at the door of plenty of places. Okay, 10% off for me. Yeah, I'm in a Facebook group over 10,000 of my brothers. Okay,
Are you really? That's a fucking wild amount of people to be on door guys like that.
I used to
All
be
the
in
door
a group
guys.
text with tons of different door guys from all a bunch of different venues, and I swear to God, when COVID started, it was all just other door guys. I don't really do. I mean, at the time, no. I mean, at the beginning of COVID, by that point, I had already stopped doing cocaine. But like by 2020, I was like, yeah, I hadn't done cocaine in, like I think probably almost a year at that point. But when COVID first started and everyone was at home, it was the door guy group chat I was in was just door guys sending videos of doing cocaine home alone to each other, and it was the most like, damn, being a door guy's hard. Like we really are in the trenches out here. Like these guys, we got nothing. We got nothing. We come home, we got nothing. We just sleep till our shift, man. This is wild.
It seems like a horrible job, and you don't make very much money doing it.
You don't, and bartenders do less work and make more money.
We're gonna take
That's
this
my
trip
opinion.
down to 6th Street also right now. I'm taking you guys with me.
We're
I have
coming
to
up,
go to
so
work.
we
But you're
usually
gonna
record
come-
about 45 minutes, so this is actually perfect. Because
Oh,
you'll
okay,
start cutting out there anyways. Well,
Oh, rock and roll.
Robert, do you want to try to record an intro and introduce Dixon, or do you just want to raw dog it how we have it up at the beginning?
We could raw dog it if you want to, because it sounds fucking ridiculous, and no one will know exactly who I am by any means.
We didn't give him any type of intro. Should we do something with him up top? Or should we cut something now to do with him up top, Robert?
I mean, I think we can close out with exactly what you do. If you know, if
Oh, I don't
people
even care. I'm just
people have
JT's
gotten
friend.
this far along.
He's just my buddy from Sacramento.
we're just
I said, what do you want to talk about? Tell stories?
He's
He
a
goes, "Let's
tattoo
catch up."
artist.
I was like, that's not bad.
Originally from
Yeah, I
Sacramento,
tattoo.
you know.
We could do this thing a lot funner next time if I'm like actually doing something at work or some shit like that. Like that dude Juan Diego. Oh fuck. Oh, it's back. That dude Juan Diego is fucking hilarious. Like there's so many funny things. I just feel like I'm just in my kitchen and it felt silly, but I like it and it was fun. And I like talking to you.
We can always do a check-in while you're at work.
Dude, let's just do it another time. Or whatever you guys want to do.
That's
You
what
guys are
exactly what I
fucking
mean.
amazing.
We'll record. We'll call in while you're in the trenches with Juan.
Yes, way funner. Like, dude, that dude is hilarious. Like, we literally had the creek, or not the creek in the cave, the fucking Casino El Camino, and he was like having the craziest drunk lady session of her like running all over the place, like she was a fucking wrestler up and down the steps in the back, and like screaming and crazy shit, and like running into his arms and calling herself a porcelain princess. Like the most hilarious dude. It's fucking
Was
rad.
my wife in Austin last weekend? I gotta check in. That sounds exactly like a woman I know. That's a porcelain princess sounds exactly like a woman I know.
Well, check in with me at work sometime. You guys are fucking awesome, and thank you again for letting me on the podcast. We can
Thanks
make
for
this thing a
coming
lot
on.
funner than next time. Also, what are you doing next week? Come fucking hang out with me. Text me after the shit or call me or some shit.
Let's fucking go.
Hell yeah. Later. It was a pleasure to meet you guys. Rock and roll.
Thanks again for coming on. It was fun. Really fun.
Rims glistening. They got see the wood cause the top is missing. I sleep on dreams cause it's paper I'm chasing. My roots come from Texas. This inflation. Run the side, run the side, run the side, run the side.